Welcome to episode number 20. What a number. Today for me is going to be a little bit of a practice day. I'm going to get out and show you guys exactly what I'm working on sort of all aspects of my game. I haven't really played much golf recently at all. It's just been mainly chill out, spend time with Reggie and Jenny, and just kind of have some time off really. Obviously had that lesson with Rich as well, so I'm going to talk through like what I'm trying to work on in regards to the swing, because I know it was kind of a little bit unclear in the lesson because it was a bit cut up because there was a lot of space in between shots, etc., and analysing data. And next time I do the lesson, I'll get a lot more data up on the screen as well. So rather than just bringing up the 3 screenshots that I did, I'll have my mobile set up on the screen there so you can see exactly what's going on with my swing on each shot. Anyway, just getting all the old clubs ready. If you didn't know, I use all Callaway. Epic Flash Odyssey. Gorilla Games.
Nice weather, isn't it?
Absolutely gorgeous. Just explain what happened, right? So James has ridiculous road rage, and if this happened to him, if he was in my van, he was coming down the road up there, like this car is right now, drove past me, I thanked him, didn't do one thing back. If you were in my position and in my van there, you would have gone mental. You'd be like, oh, head, fucking not thanking me back, and he would have been...
Because I was looking in the van and I was like, what the f is that? And then I realised it was you.
Massive otter. Okay, so hopefully this part of the video gives you a good idea of what I'm working on in my swing and how I'm structuring my practice on the range. Obviously this isn't permanent, this is going to change here and there, it's never going to stay the same, completely dependent on what I'm trying to change in my swing and what I'm trying to do in general with my game. So first of all, warming up, and then I'm practicing hitting, to start with there were 54-degree wedges, just trying to pick it off the mat without even touching the mat. And if I do touch the mat, it's the underside of the bounce hitting the mat rather than that leading edge digging in. So just trying to use the bounce more, again, just shallower through it, not steep, and not getting that low skiddy ball flight, trying to fly it in a bit higher but still getting the same amount of spin because it's a better strike. With the swing in general, the main things that me and Rich were talking about during the lesson, which obviously you guys have seen, but for those who didn't want to watch that long form kind of video, I'll give you a basic idea of what I'm trying to do. The feel for me is that I'm trying to hit up on it, and that encourages me to come a little bit shallower through the ball. Like we saw with the TrackMan numbers, I'm coming from the inside but steep, which is it's very strange numbers to have. You don't see it very often, but I think it comes from back in my heyday, if you like, when I was playing some very good golf. I always had that penetrating low draw ball flight, so I've always had that sort of a lot of compression to the golf ball, if that makes sense. And that's manifested itself now in my swing is becoming very steep, and that's something which obviously me and Rich are trying to get rid of. So number one is shallowing out. So moving the ball forward in my stance, which is naturally going to shallow the golf club through impact, because obviously it's hitting the ball later and it's coming on more of an upward arc. And the feeling I get to shallow out is just that from sort of halfway on the downswing, my hands just start to sort of, just like I'm trying to hit it. It's hard for me to put into words. Like I'm just trying to hit it high. Like the back of my glove is sort of pointing up to the sky on the way through. Not like I'm flicking my wrist, but just as I'm sort of coming up through the ball, rather than trying to hit down and compress it. And the strange thing is I thought when I started doing this, I would start hitting it left, because obviously the ball's forward in my stance, there's more time for the club to release, and I'm kind of don't feel like I'm flicking it, but I feel like my hands are releasing more. And if anything, the complete opposite happened. You know, I started missing shots short right, which is just completely polar opposites as to what I thought would happen. So that's what we're working on with that part of the golf swing. Obviously transition has got to slow down. That's one thing I'm also thinking about here on the range as well, is just tempo. I'm not thinking massively about it, but I've just got it in the back of my mind just to make an easy swing and not lash at it. Bit of a different story with the driver, but I'll get to that in a minute. And the third thing that I'm focusing on, and this is the last thing which I'm really thinking about on the range, is just my lower body, keeping the lower body a bit more quiet, but still turning through it. So though I hope that's sort of clear enough. It's very hard for me to put it into words because I'm a very feely player, but that's a basic idea of what I'm trying to do with my golf swing. When it comes to structuring my practice on the range, I'm only hitting balls in maximum sets of 5. The only time I do block practice is if I'm really trying to ingrain and work on technique. Here, like at the start you saw, 5 shots by 58, just loosening up and trying to get the feeling of the club not hitting the mat. And then I'll move to some 100-yard shots, and then I'll go up to my 8 iron, and again just working on hitting up on the ball, sets of 5, down through the clubs, down to 5 iron, and keep on going through the sets of 5 to 3 with the driver. And then after that, what I then started doing here is I'm playing golf courses in my mind. So again, Rich talked about this in the lesson, is using the range as more of a place for target practice and actually creating golf shots, hitting golf shots like I would on the golf course, and not just hitting the same club over and over again. So in my mind, say I'd have the second hole at Exeter Golf and Country Club, hit driver off the tee with a little fade, and then I'd hit like probably a 54 or a 50 into the green, and I go and play a different hole where it forces me to hit iron off the tee and I need to hit a little draw off the tee, and then hit maybe a draw with a 9 iron into a back left pin, but I can't go left. So I'm having these situations in my mind, visualizing the golf course and visualizing the shot which I need to hit to that location. Oh yeah, and that's the other thing as well, which is stopping these big destructive shots left, is a slightly weaker left hand, which is really difficult for me to do because it means it interlocks more with my right hand little finger, which I have a dodgy finger. So it's just going to be a case of managing that and getting used to it, I guess. It's a little bit painful, but it does stop that destructive shot going left. At worst, it's straight left rather than turning left. By having that weaker left hand, it stops me from being able to flip the club over and have it starting left and going left. So that's what I'm working on at the moment. Oh, that's like a sauna. You know, it's just so hot, it just like drains you. By the way, this lump on my head, I haven't been knocked out. I haven't had James dep me or anything. It's got bitten in the night by a midgie. Just arrived at East Devon Golf Club. I'm going to go through what I'm working on my short game. It's not really so much to do with technique, it's more just to do with the way that I actually practice. And much like the range, sometimes I find myself on the chip-in area, putting myself in comfortable positions. So for instance, I'll give myself like an uphill chip, which I know I can get spin into to be able to stop the ball quicker, rather than giving myself a position where it's a potential short side on a golf course. Definitely guilty of that. I give myself easy chip shots and easy pitch shots around the green, rather than putting myself in a position where I have to go down a tier or judge something a little bit more precisely. What I'm doing at the moment is I'm going around with 3 golf balls, so just doing sets of 3, and I'll either go to 3 different pins or play to the same pin and hit 3 different types of golf shots to that one pin. And again, same as on the range, going through routine, going through what I would do on the golf course. So this, for instance, is a shot I know is difficult for me because I'm trying to shallow it out through impact as well with the pitching, not be so steep and forwardy on it. And it's a sandy line, it's quite tight, and there's not much green to work with. So I really have to nip these, but at the same time make sure I'm using the bounce and not digging the club in like that, if you know what I mean. So we're going to go to the front one here, the one just past that, and then we're going to go to the one which is back right. Oh, so nice. golf shot.
First one, very, very good golf shot. Second one, pretty horrific. Third one, that's not the pin I was going for. I was going for that back right one there, but there's a slope here which takes it all the way down. Just missed it a little bit left.
But it's something like that on the golf course where I know I can't miss that pin left. I shouldn't be doing, because I'll be left now a difficult putt for, well, a difficult 2-putt for par. So there I should have had in my mind to miss it up the right hand side, knowing that it's going to pretty much come all the way back down to the pin anyway.
So now we're going to do something different. We're going to play to the same pin with 3 different shots to this pin here. First one, I'm going to go down the slope and back down. Second one, I'm going to play it relatively straight but fly it there. And then the third one, I'm going to go a little bit exuberant, if you like, and try and play it with a little bit of left to right spin, spinning into the slope that way.
That was disgusting. Hope you enjoyed that video and it kind of gave you an idea of what I'm practicing, but not so much what I'm practicing, more like how I'm practicing, how I'm structuring my practice, and also how I'm trying to simulate golf course situations on the practice area, on the chipping green and on the range, on the putting green. I'm going to get a little bit more in depth as we go along with these videos and these vlogs. As to sort of like my daily structure, it's still a work in progress really. I mean, I was in a very, very bad habit of going to bed late and waking up late because I was sitting on my laptop until God knows what time in the morning trying to get editing done and work done, and not actually waking up early enough to get out and do enough practice. But for now, I'll leave you here. Thank you very much for watching. Remember to subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't already, and like the video and leave a comment down below if you enjoyed it. Let me know your thoughts. Always like to hear what you guys have to say.